It's here, December and snow. It's time to get the Christmas decorations out, and I have a couple of Christmas DIYs to share with you today as well. Come on in and see what I've been up to.
It was the night before Christmas. I was closing down for business in my little present shop, when the bell on the door jingled once more, and then time almost came to a stop. But somehow I knew, and maybe so did you, that everything would change from now on. Yes, from this Christmas on, this Christmas on.
When Dollar Tree first started putting out these Christmas placemats, I made sure that I snagged 4 of them. I got 2 different kinds, and I am going to make some throw pillows. These are on the smaller side for throw pillows, but they are perfect for use like in the recliner or in the chair when you just need a little bit of a pillow for your lumbar or the back of your neck, that kind of thing. So I am just hot gluing 2 of the different types of placemat together, and then I'm stuffing in this pillow. It was a toss pillow that came with an old bedding set that we got years ago and don't use anymore, so it was the perfect size for this. And I'm just taking my glue gun and I'm sealing up the seams around this pillow, and after this is all cooled and everything, be careful not to get that glue on your fingers because it will burn. And anyway, it becomes a reversible pillow. I like the little Christmas truck on the one side, and then on the other it just says Merry Christmas with some Christmas trees. It gives me the option of turning them around whichever way that I want to use it, and I think both are equally as cute. And here is one that I made previously. We've had this one for years, and I'm just over the snowmen, and I wanted to change it up a bit, and I didn't have another pillow insert to put into the second pillow, so I decided I would just stuff the old one inside and give it a little update for this Christmas. And I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm just using my glue gun and I'm going around and sealing all of the seams. And this is a quick and easy, probably a 5-minute project if you were to time it. It didn't take any time at all. And I had 2 pillows for $4. And to me, they are just so cute and comfy, and they just add to the cozy look. I really liked the selection that they had at the Dollar Tree, but of course you can find these cheap placemats at any store. And if you don't have a pillow to stuff inside, the cheap $3 pillows or $2.50, whatever they are at Walmart, are perfect for opening up and putting the stuffing inside yourself. And there we go with pillow number 2. And here we have the pillows together in the recliner. Of course, I won't use all these pillows in one chair, but I'm just giving you a look at how they came together and the options that we have if we use the little red trucks or the Christmas trees. And then here's one for each of the recliners. and I just really like to have one to put behind my head when I'm sitting and getting cozy. And here is Mr. Santa with his little furry boots. I just love him. This was a gift from my husband, and he knows how much I love Christmas, and he's always surprising me with little gifts throughout the Christmas season. That was last year's little gift. And here is just our little cozy setup on our TV stand. I am really going for a simple look. Just kind of doing the hygge style, which is a simple but intentional cozy feeling with more of the organic feels. I have the clear icicles, and I'm using wintry things like the snow skis, and the little reindeer with the fur collars are so cute. I just love them. I do plan to leave this tree up throughout the winter, and I feel like these simple cozy decorations I can leave up after Christmas if I choose to. I'm such a procrastinator when it comes to taking Christmas decorations down that last year I had such a busy red and green tree, and it just bothered me so much. But I feel like keeping it simple like this tree is this year, that even if it's still up in January, it won't bother me so much or be an eyesore. I have my hubby's big cozy recliner pulled forward a little bit because I was walking around it and getting in and out of the closet, but that's not quite the look I was going for, but there it is. Here's a little look at what my kitchen curtains look like before, and I've had these curtains a really, really long time, and they're fine and everything, but I wanted to do something for Christmas in my kitchen, and so I decided that I would change out the curtains. The first thing that I did was get on Amazon and look for Christmas curtains. And although I found some in a really reasonable price range, I am just super, super cheap when it comes to things like that. I love to get a bargain, and I have not been finding many bargains anywhere lately. And so when I can't find something at a price that I really love, then I look at what do I have on hand and what can I make. And so I had this tablecloth from last year in my dresser in the dining room, and I no longer have my big dining room table because I am currently in between tables, and so I decided that I would use this tablecloth, which I got from Amazon last year, and just kind of cut it up and make curtains out of it, which is fine and dandy with me. But since it is a tablecloth, it does drape over on both sides, and you get the deer print. Well, what that means is that when I cut it up and made panels out of it, then some of the deer are upside down. So that kind of thing does not bother me. I know that would bother some people a lot, but I'm not like that. I can live with it. And anyway, so all I'm doing is folding this super huge rectangle shaped tablecloth, and I'm cutting it into 6 panels just because that's what I needed for my windows. I measured, the precise way of holding them up to the window and then cutting down, leaving a little extra because I do make mistakes. So I did leave myself a little bit of room to make some mistakes in the measuring of the length, and I'm not really that concerned about the width because these are just for decoration. It is not a functional curtain, and I used my hot glue gun to make the pockets to put the rod in, and I'm going to use this spring garland, which is like a eucalyptus or something, and I'm going to use that for my greenery. I know it's not evergreen, but it still has the green color, and I am perfectly okay with it. It is like a plastic feeling, and I think it goes well for winter too, so it's going up there. And the only thing that I did buy for this were these little wreaths from Hobby Lobby, and they cost $2.50 with the 50% off sale that they were having the day I was in. I'm using some leftover ribbon that I had in my stash, and I'm just securing those and putting them in the window like so. I think that is very Christmassy, and I love it. And then just to add a little extra color to those wreaths, I'm taking some of this dollar store red berry garland that I picked up last year, and I cut it down to fit these little wreaths and just kind of wove it in there, and I think that is a really nice touch also. And this is a little craft project that I am picking up from last year. I got these, what are these things called? Transfers that I had a friend make me on her Cricut, and I actually bought them from her for like $5 or something like that. And I got these dollar store mugs and wanted to use these on my hot cocoa bar last year, but it was just one of those projects that was a little later in the Christmas season, and I did not get to it because that's just how Christmas is. And so what I did was I just packed it all up with my Christmas decor, and just when I got it out this year, I'm like, I'm gonna do it right now and it'll be done and over with. So sometimes that kind of stuff happens. So I was just figuring out which words to put on these 2 mugs, and I ended up cutting down the jingle bells because it was the only ones that I could get to fit on these short little mugs. I have not seen any decent looking mugs at my Dollar Tree this year, so luckily I did have these packed up and had a nice little red mug to use for these. And I am not a Cricut person, but I kind of figured out that you have to rub it first to get it to transfer onto the sticky, and then put the sticky onto the cup. So that's how I did that. Not really much to show there. And you will see that when I do put these on my mugs, they'll be crooked. I kind of think that everything that I do is crooked and imperfect, and that's just the way it is, and I've just come to live with it. And maybe that's why those kind of things just don't bother me. I'm not as OCD about it. Yeah, see there, I put it down and was lucky about getting it to come back up the first time, but the second time the G was stuck on, so it was like, okay, we're going with it. It's gonna be here. And it was fine. Like I said, I'm not really hung up on it being perfect. These are just for me. I'm not giving them away for gifts or anything. If it was a gift, then maybe I would feel differently about it. So I've got my jingle on my one mug, and I decide that I'm going to use the cheer on the other, and then I'm going to just hang these on my little mug rack that I have in my kitchen. I like to change out my mugs for the season or for the holiday or whatever that we're in at the time. I don't like to have a lot of mugs. I typically have a few that live there permanently, and then I change out just 2 in different colors. I don't like to have a lot of clutter, a lot of coffee mugs that we don't use and whatnot. So this gives me the opportunity to decorate, and I mean, we all like to have a festive mug to drink our tea or coffee out of. So I don't want to deprive myself and not have those ways of celebrating or whatever, but I also don't want a lot of clutter in my kitchen. And here are my finished mugs on my mug rack, and I am very happy with the way that they turned out. And once again, these were free this year, although last year they would have came in at a whopping $7 total for the 2 mugs. Here I am just taking my Santa cookie jar, and I am filling it up with these peppermint, the soft peppermints, and some of these Christmassy York peppermint patties, and some of the minty nougats that Grandma used to buy. Just a few things that I knew would kind of go together in there, and then mix it up. I don't like to keep cookies in a cookie jar because they are just not safe. Last year I think I filled Santa with Oreos because I don't like Oreos, and I knew I wouldn't be tempted to get into it. So just kind of looking out for my family a little bit and putting some things that I knew that we would go light with. So he's just going back on his little cake stand here, and he's full of candy. So if we do want a little treat, or if we want to pop a peppermint into our tea or hot cocoa, then it's there. But I don't see that we would get in there and just totally smash on a bunch of peppermints, so that's a safe choice. I had some of these little peppermint balls left over, so I'm just putting them into this empty glass jar that I have sitting on the shelf. They are really good to use for decorations and for refills. And I'm just giving you a quick look at the top of my fridge. Not my favorite place to show people, especially right now, but I have my little nutcracker guys up there and my gingerbread train, and I have some aprons for Christmas out. Some are for me and some are for the grandkids. And that is just a little look at what the kitchen on that side looks like. I really usually do the what am I trying to say? The gingerbread theme each year in here, but I did tone it down a little bit this time and just used a few pieces. And then over here, I just have some of my jars that have like sugar and baking stuff in it. And I put my little gingerbread guys up there and some of the little candy cane Christmas trees. And like I said, I'm just using a few touches and not going all out. I have my one little Christmas towel out on the rack here, and my wreath, just got a ribbon to dress it up. The wreath stays up all year, and I just change the ribbon or no ribbon if I don't feel like doing one. And so this little mug and the Christmassy scented soap from Bath & Body Works, and just another towel draped in the bottom of that. So over here is about the closest that I get to a cocoa or coffee bar, and all of it is fake because we live here and we have children in our home all the time. So candy canes do not last in this house. I do buy candy canes and I put them up for the kids, and they're allowed to have them, and I usually have candy canes on my tree, but these ones are fake and they're just for looks. And I like to keep most of our coffee and cocoa stuff in the drawer underneath the coffee maker. Anyway, I don't like it out on the counters. I do have our one little cup, or our coffee jar there, and that is it. And I really like the way that this little corner in my kitchen turned out. It's very festive. Moving into the dining room, I do have a small table set up in our dining room. Like I said, I am in between tables, but I have this small one set up, and I have this two-tiered stand on it. It's a red one, and so it just kind of ties in perfectly with the Christmas theme. I usually do kind of whatever I have left over on a tiered stand. And so I have this mailbox and the Santa mail sacks, along with some flowers that my husband got me because he's so sweet. And then on my dining room, whatever you would call this, a buffet. It's an old dresser that I painted and I use it in my dining room. I have this little area that always pretty much looks the same, and I just change out the decor on it to suit whatever season we're in. And so like in the living room, I was kind of going for something that I could leave out a little longer throughout the winter, and so it is more wintry than Christmassy. I have this little tray that we got as a wedding gift, along with some of the jars full with some of the sprigs for the season. I did a double layer runner on it this time. I always have the jute runner, and then I just decided to put this red and green plaid on top of it, and just some wintry picks that I've had for quite a while. I always have owls all over my house, but I thought this one with the little orange slices in his eyes kind of went along with the wintry Christmas season. I hung up a couple of the $2 Walmart wreaths that I've had for quite a while, and I hang them on there with the wreath hangers, and the little advent calendar that I hung up was new this year to us. It was $10 at Target, so that is something that I did spring for this time. On the windows, I just strung up some beads and tied off the edges with some ribbon. My husband's what is that thing called? Inversion table is in the corner. It's just something that we live with. And here is another shot of that. Okay, I'm going back and forth. So this is where I started with doing these little pillars here, the dividers between the dining room and the living room. It has changed since then, I think. So it is probably one of the most troublesome areas to me. I am constantly trying to figure out what to do with that spot. And here is my hutch, and I just recently moved it over to this corner. I'm not sure if I like it there or if I'll keep it there. It does look a little cluttered to me with my plant stand and our gallery wall, so that may change here soon, and you know me, it probably will. So here's just a look at how simple I'm keeping the inside of my hutch, and a view from the dining room into the living room. I did hang up a couple of wreaths in the windows this year. I have always wanted to do that, but then I also didn't want to block the stained glass window. I really enjoy that. And I just love how you can see our outside lights from inside. We do have an enclosed porch on the front of our house, so I will be decorating that soon. And here are just some clips of what I've showed you so far. I wanted to get some footage of these decorations in the daytime, since everything looks different in my house in the daytime and the nighttime. And we live in a kind of older, darker house, so sometimes the lighting is just a little better in the daytime. And so I'm just giving you a quick look around again at this little guest room that we have in the downstairs of our house. It's a very, very small room. And here's Champ. I don't think I am allowed to take a step in the house without one of the dogs following me around. But anyway, the purpose of this room is just to have a little place for people to sleep over when the grandkids come over, or our older kids. They have somewhere that they can sleep if they want to. And then we always have the air mattresses if needed. And so here is just the dining room in the daytime, and I just keep these little houses up all the time, and I just add little things to go with them to make them fit in with the season. And I thought the little calendar went perfectly with the house theme. And this little sign says it's snuggle season, and that's basically what I like to do all winter long. And here is another view into the living room from our dining room. And I did simplify those areas with the little pillars a little more. I think the wreaths look really nice. And these little snowshoes I picked up at the Target dollar spot. Don't mind my windows, they are super dirty right now, but I have a couple of wreaths and some garland around the door. And that's basically all I have going on. And here's a little view going into the dining room and the kitchen area, and I'm trying to show you the mistletoe that we hung up right there in the middle. So my husband and I make sure that we meet up under the mistletoe from time to time. And this is my little village. I do not have good lights for it right now, so I'm just using my plant light in there. So everything is glowing a little red right now, but that's all right. I will work on that. It'll give me something to do throughout the rest of the month, since I pretty much have everything decorated already, and it's tomorrow's December 1st. So I'm a little ahead of the game, but I like it. That gives me more time for cooking and enjoying family time. So I like to get the decorating out of the way. And here is just a little look at how this window with the stained glass looks with the wreath in front of it. I just love the way everything looks so cozy this year. I can't wait to hunker down on a snowy day and stay in my home. It is my favorite place in the whole wide world to be. And that is about it for the decorating this year. And I'm very happy with how it turned out. Thank you so much if you've stuck it out all the way to the end with me. I really appreciate it and hope that you enjoyed it. And now it's time for me to relax and get cozy. See you all next time. Bye for now.